Hello, my name is Poehling Seymour. I'm the CEO and president of First Supply. Our headquarters are here in Madison, Wisconsin. I grew up in La Crosse and now live in Milwaukee. Being a woman in leadership is an interesting place to be because there aren't that many of us, unfortunately. I remember when I was young going to the library and looking for a book about a female CEO and having a hard time finding one and realizing that that wasn't because that women shouldn't be CEOs, it's because we needed to learn more about those women who are CEOs. Today there are a lot of resources where you can learn about what these women's stories are and how they got from point A to point B. I would encourage people to do things like read the Wall Street Journal and seek out stories about women who are doing the types of things that you want to do or who have been in places where you see yourself being in the future. Things like reading Fortune magazine or CEO magazine. There's all sorts of things online and offline that you can find that set examples for yourself. For me, one of also the most formative experiences I had was in going to work with my dad and on Take Your Daughter to Work Day. And I could go and see what he was doing as a CEO. I could go and see what others in his business were doing and what that looked like and who they were and what their backgrounds were. It was always my favorite day of the year. It was so exciting to be in a business environment, and it led me to understand that I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew that this business environment was exciting. And so when I went to college, I thought about how can I get there and how can I learn those types of things. And I got a general accounting degree from a big business school because that was the perfect foundation for me. I also realized that there weren't a lot of women that looked like me in those courses as well. And unfortunately, I sit in meetings today and I'm often the only woman around the table, but that's okay. What I've learned is that there are other women who are the only women around the table also, and we've formed networks. Some of them are formal networks, like the Women in Business group that we've formed within our industry. Some of them are informal networks, like I can create on LinkedIn or just over a cup of coffee with somebody who's also doing what I'm doing, and we can laugh and maybe not cry, but commiserate over some of the things that are really challenging for us when we look different than the other people in the room. We also bring a different perspective, and that can be very, very powerful. It's important that you can raise your hand and you can say, I think this might be different, because you do have a different perspective based on who you are, whether you're a male or a female. You are going to bring a different perspective. It's important not to be afraid of doing something just because you don't look like the person who did it before you. And it's very important that you continue to reach out to people who look like you and doing the things that you want to do in the future. My final thoughts for you today as I think about what I wish I would have known when I was sitting in your seat was all of the opportunities that are available to us right here in the state of Wisconsin and all of the different pathways that you can take to get to those opportunities. It may be that you go to a college and you get a degree. It may be that you go on from there like me and go to law school, or you get a PhD. It may be that that's not for you, or you go into the military, or you go and get a 2-year degree, or you simply find yourself ready and willing to work right after high school. All of those are fantastic pathways that can lead you to a fulfilling career. We employ almost 700 people, like I said, in almost 40 locations throughout Wisconsin, all over the place, in things like distribution. We've got receiving and picking and driving. We've got office jobs, and there are many companies like us throughout the state of Wisconsin that will give you a fantastic life and a fantastic place to live that ultimately is your home. It's where you came from. So thank you very much for listening, and I wish you the best of luck in your future.